Okay. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I am here with you, and I made a mistake. I forgot to turn the button to go live. Living and learning. So, welcome to today talk, where I want to discuss with you something very important. Let's talk about fear. Fear, this emotion that we all live, we all experience in different times of our lives. In general terms, I want to bring two types of fear here. The fear that paralyzes and the fear that triggers movement and action. And the importance of knowing, of being aware of those when they come, when we get them, to be able to take action and not allowing the fear overcome us. Because whether it's a feeling of failure or standing out from the crowd or in a conflict or getting visibility or anything else, fears hold us back and hold most women from sharing their voices and ideas, which prevents them from becoming active agents of transformation and impact in the world. And this is why I'm here. For the ones who don't know me yet, I'm Tulia Lopez, and I'm committed to help professional women like you to achieve your highest potential by expressing with confidence and conviction whenever you speak, present, or lead, because your voice is needed. I keep repeating that, and I mean it. And today, talking about fear, I want to offer you two different ways of facing fear. You can face fear about forgetting everything and run, or face everything and rise. What is your take? Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise? We have to understand also that there's not only the dark side or the bad side of fear, because in general terms, one of the type of fears that triggers our prime instincts of fight or flight are essential for our survival. And they are directly related to those codes, those survival codes that we all have. And they can be irrational, well, they are irrational, and it's from what we perceive mostly unconsciously as a danger, as a worst case scenario of what could happen. And in our contemporary context, in our professional context, the fight or flight response can fire not just those prime instinct, but can be also related to any potential threats that are related to our emotional safety, such as possible embarrassment or the fear of failure, hurt feelings, and something alike. The other type is more related to the emotional side. It's the emotional fear. What I mean is that one that is related to your feelings. Is the feeling of uncomfort, of moving to a space that we are not used to, literally and metaphorically, in the typical, the famous uncomfort zone. Also the feeling of overwhelm, when we come into possession of something that is much bigger than what we had before. This can be a new project, a promotion, can be also here, I make a parenthesis to the idea of making loads of money falls into this category. Many people are afraid of having all this abundance because they are afraid of losing friends, family, or for having all this financial abundance also to raise their profile and become more visible and not knowing how to deal with that. That generates fear as well. in the feeling, also the feeling of awe in presence of something divine, something that's go beyond our understanding. So here I'm bringing these two type of fears. One that is very the instinctive one that we know, fight or flight response, but also the emotional fear, which is the one that we have a lot of work to do mostly. But whether they're instinctive or emotional, we have to acknowledge our fears and then take action on how we are going to deal with them. So we all face the famous imposter syndrome, don't we? And even when we see all these amazing people there, very successful with their voice, with the message, with their achievements, and we think, oh my God, I wish I could, I wish I would be. And we tend to forget that for everything we achieve in life, there's a process. And these people are there because they follow a process and they got there. In most of the cases, they had a mentor or coach or someone that took them by the hand or kicked them in their butt to help them to move forward. But that does not take away the fact that there are moments in their times in everybody's lives that we feel insecure, that we feel inadequate, that we feel that we are not good enough, and that we feel that we are not prepared enough, all those kind of things that I don't need to repeat because you know. However, the important thing is, what do you do with it? What do you do in that moment of fear? If I could give you one simple suggestion, I would say, what about transform your fear into excitement? What about transforming your fear into something that you know there's a purpose on it? I give an example. Those moments when you are just about to get into that room for a meeting, an important meeting, and you have to present some idea, or some controversial idea, some project, or the moment you're just behind the curtains to step on stage to deliver your message. Those are moments where we can transform the fear into excitement. If we shift our focus, instead of allowing the fear to take over us, is to use this energy of the fear, instead of like this energy that brings down, reverse it to lift it up and bring you to a state of mind that says exactly like this: I'm here for a purpose. My message is important, and I'm here to deliver an important message. This is what I say to my clients and students every time they have to give presentations, they have to be in important meetings. Just give yourself that one few seconds. Breathe in, embrace, acknowledge that moment of fear and welcome it with the sentence to yourself: I'm here to give an important message. And go for it. Because then you can rise. I have a small trick that I can share with you. Maybe I even write it down here very fast and I share with you. I use this as a reminder and a small tool to help me and to help my clients and students to overcome those moments. And it's called renew, where re stands for recognize. Recognize. Meaning, every time you feel like the fear of something, if you push it away and comes like the story of the elephant, remember? If I tell you to don't think about the pink elephant, the first thing you think is a pink elephant. So pushing your fear away, say, I don't want to think about this, I don't want to feel that way, it will make you feel exactly that way. But if you recognize, you understand, I recognize, I am feeling nervous here right now. I have the fear. I'm having this fear of getting into this room. But the next one, I'm going to just write it down here. What you have to do is, I recognize, then I neutralize. Neutralize by changing your focus to something else that uplifts your emotional state, that doesn't allow the fear to take over. And as an example I just gave to you, with this message to yourself saying, I'm here for an important message. I'm here because I have an important mission. I'm here because it is important. I have important purpose. And this is why I'm coming here to deliver this message. This is why I'm here to talk to this person. So you push the focus, take it away, the focus from you, from yourself, to your message, to whatever you bring into the room, which is in fact is the important thing, because it's not you that are important. You are the important thing here. So once you do that, you neutralize that fear. You in a way transform your fear into your anxiety into excitement. And once you do that, you go deliver your thing, you do your meeting, whatever. When you have your time of debriefing, of sitting down and analyzing how successful was your presentation or your meeting, etc., you will then work on it. So this is what I use for this renew formula. You're going to work on it. What does it mean, work on it? It means that you're going to then go back to that moment in time where this fear came, the fear that you transformed into excitement. What exactly triggered my fear in that moment? Was it because there was someone in the room that I feel not comfortable with? Was it because I felt I was not well prepared? Was it true? If I was not well prepared, what can I do to be prepared the next time? Or if it was someone there that makes me feel uncomfortable, why this person makes me feel uncomfortable? What can I do to overcome that emotion every time I meet that person? Or whatever it is, you have to go back to those moments and identify what triggers your emotion, your anxiety, or your fear in that moment. Because the neutralized part of it, we go back here, renew, you recognize, then you neutralize. The neutralized purpose is only for that moment in time that you're there, that you have to go into that room, that you don't know, you have the anxiety, but you say, okay, that's my focus here. And I go and do it and deliver. But you don't want to be in this situation your whole life. You don't want to be that every time you have to give a presentation, every time you have to give a talk, that you get into this anxiety, into this negative emotion. Because a little bit of anxiety is also important, because it grounds you. But what you need to do is then, by working on it, on those emotions, you say, okay, every time I know there's someone in the room that makes me feel uncomfortable, I know I can talk to myself and say, Tulia, nothing to worry. You were prepared. Your message matters. Or every time you have to go into a big stage that you feel like, oh my God, I am an introvert. I don't feel comfortable in these open, big stages with a lot of women. You can say to yourself, you can prepare. That's okay. It doesn't matter the size of the room, the number of people. I can deliver a good presentation from my own space, my limited or small space, whatever space you want to set for yourself. So you have to find your ways of deal with it, because we all know from neuroscience, in a very lay, with all the disclaimers here, I'm not a neuroscientist, but we all know that our brain works by replacement, in the sense that if you want to change a habit, you just don't say, I'm not going to do this. You can say, okay, I don't want to have this habit. What would I have instead? And then you start changing behavior. And by changing behavior, every time you tend to, let's say, I don't want to eat chocolate anymore. And you keep saying, I don't want to eat chocolate anymore. It will not help. What will help is you say, okay, every time, because I don't want to eat chocolate, every time I have the feeling of eating chocolate, I'm going to eat a fruit. I'm going to eat an apple. So every time desire of chocolate, you're going to tell yourself, no, you're going to eat an apple. Until it gets to the point that unconsciously, when you have this desire that was chocolate, your brain will tell you apple without you thinking. So that is the process that you are able to change your behavior and face the fear. Renew, remember, recognize, neutralize, and then work on it. So then you can overcome that. Because let me tell you something. The current situation that we are living right now, ladies, this is especially for you, has sent many qualified women back home, made them redundant, and is going to continue. And are telling them, especially the ones in the late 40s and beyond, that they are not capital for the professional market. And I'm going to ask you something. Really? I don't think so. But what I do think so is that we women need to really to step up and speak up. We really need to overcome those fears. And we have to understand that we are not alone, that this is a process, and that it is not going to happen from one day to another. And this is why we have to surround ourselves. We have to surround ourselves with people, with mentors, with coaches, with people who are moving forward, so then we can move forward with them. The people that will support us, not push us back down, people that lift our energy, people that lift our soul. Because one thing also from history, we women, we have always been pushed down. Well, not always. If we come back to the Celtic times, you remember the little I know from those stories, that women had a very important role in all those ancient cultures, and somehow along history we lost that, and now we are regaining it, because this environment now, everything that's happening is asking for a more feminine, a more inclusive, a more nurturing type of leadership, which is the leadership that we bring. And this is why I'm telling you, shine your light. You have to learn how to shine your light. And you need support. We all do. I do have support. I have 2 mentors right now. One for specifically for the business, other for another. And I always have someone to help me to see beyond my boundaries, to help me to break my boundaries, break the wall ceilings that we put in ourselves, glass ceilings that we put in ourselves, but also the environment put in ourselves. So in one thing here, I want to leave you with this quote from Marianne Williamson, because I believe that one of the reasons that we also don't take that step, don't stand up and speak up, is the fear of our greatness. And she says here, this is just a small, let me read the whole quote for you here. Just 1 second. The whole quote says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our darkness, that most frighten us. So I leave you with this, and I want you to really embrace it, think about it, and think about yourself, your potential, and why are you really giving your greatness to the world? We are here in a mission. I always repeat that. And we are here for purpose. There is someone somewhere that needs to hear exactly what you have to say. Not me, you. So it's important that you decide to stand up and speak up. So my call to action to you today is face everything and rise. When it comes to fear, face everything and rise. And you don't need to do it alone. I'm here. There are many other people that you can reach out to me if you need support. And let's keep growing together this 2021 and getting your voice out there. This is all for me today. I'm Tulia Lopez here, your communication architect, speaker, author of Leading High Heels, and wishing you a wonderful day. And again, my call to action for you today is when facing fear, face it, face everything, and rise. Have a wonderful day.